What are you doing? Bro, I'm practicing my Loveland Frogman watch, bro.
Why?
Because we're doing cryptids today, remember?
Oh, forgot. Get in.
I even got them on.
Oh, sweet. Alrighty. Well, I think we know what we gotta do then.
Magical thing, bro.
Exactly. Alrighty.
Welcome back to the garage. You know, it's me, Hunter,
I'm Juan.
and we're ready to invite you back in. Okay, today on Mystery Mondays, we got a good new episode. Tonight we're gonna do cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
We each chose one cryptid to research, and then we did one together, and we're just gonna explain them to you. And you want to go first? You want me?
Yeah, I'll go first, man. Man, you showed your impression. I feel a little outmatched here.
Yeah, you know, sometimes. And we got the computer out, we got the phone. Someone's trying a little harder here, bro.
Yeah. Now it edited, bro. That looks spectacular.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. I think we're all set then.
Alright. Well, we'll have him take it away, bro.
Let's get to it. So, for this Mystery Monday, I thought I'd choose the Chupacabra. You know, a little Hispanics, one may say, you know, Arriba. I see, bro. So, I mean, you know, I thought I chose something closer to me, so, yeah, Chupacabra. So, let's get started here. So, the Chupacabra, right, it originated in Puerto Rico. It was around the 1990s, and the main reason it originated was because it got, the animals that the farmers had,
Look at that freak.
they were found drained of the blood, which, first of all, holy, I just seeing a dry goat.
Do you know, like, what time was this around?
What time? This was 1990s, bro.
1990s? I mean, like, that is still crazy. Like, you're in Mexico, right? And then, like, you walk out to your farm, and your goats are just dead. Like,
not dead. They're dry. They're little bone carcasses at this point.
you're like, yeah, you were good yesterday. What happened?
Yeah, bro, this ain't no ordinary attack. And I mean, that's what a lot of people thought. They thought this was just some ordinary attack of some random animal, a fox maybe or something. But even early sightings, it was a little mixed. The picture here is an early sighting, pretty much. It was seen more like a lizard dude, pretty much. Think of a lizard guy. It was bipedal, had sharp little fangs, you know, like a gremlin, pretty much. That's how I would describe it. And that's what a lot of people describe it as. It was like King Root-like. You know, it had like the powerful feet and stuff. And that's almost what they described it as. And that's when it got like paranormal and superstitious and stuff. And I don't know, this might have just been my family, or maybe other families out there. But my mom always scared me with the Chupacabra.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I knew about it, but that wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, but for me, bro, if I didn't make bed on time, bro, the Chupacabra was gonna get me.
Chupacabra's gonna get you.
Dude, it was scary, bro. You didn't know what it was. It was a mythical little being, dude.
Bro, what's it? You gonna nip your toes off or what?
Dude, that's what I thought, bro. I didn't know what he did. I didn't know he drained blood of goats. I just thought he was a little creature.
Right, a little creature.
The creature. But the description I was given this little dog. It's like this. Think of like like those naked hairless dogs, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or like the dog from Coco,
Okay.
whatever his name is. Think of that, but think of it very bony
Yeah.
and with fangs and stuff. That was like later description. That's what I know the Chupacabra as.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people know the Chupacabra as. It's this little demon dog that sucks goat's blood.
You know, when I envision a chupacabra, if you guys have seen that one show, it's like, is it Barnyard? It's called Barnyard. It's got that cow dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And there's Cotton Eye Joe, the little dude they keep in the box, and they like play the song. That's what I envision.
Really?
Chupacabra. Let me see.
Dude.
Yeah, boy, you can explain. I'll see if I can pull this up. But that's my envision of the chupacabra. If anyone gets this reference.
But yeah, so, and also the main thing is that the Chupacabra, it was inspired, have you seen the movie Species?
I haven't.
It's a really old movie. But that's where a lot of people get like their envision from, is from that movie.
Okay.
That's where the alien like look of it came from. And you search up like the Chupacabra on Wikipedia, it shows you like 10 different versions of the Chupacabra. Because every time it was seen, it was described differently. People couldn't make up their minds of what this creature was, right?
Oh, we have memory.
Oh, the pains of being in a garage.
It's the best place to be.
Exactly, bro. We're here. You're here. It's a great time.
Pull the big guns for this.
But the main thing about the Chupacabra, right, is that it drained animals' blood. That was its whole point. But then people started like, I don't even know, people started like blaming things on it, when it didn't even do it. Like a lady said that it broke into her house, and like it broke into her daughter's bedroom and it ripped like a teddy bear,
Yeah.
but it didn't do anything to her.
Really?
It just did that and left. And they're like, riddle me this, right? It kills goats, it kills animals, it kills dogs, chickens, whatever. But then it sees a person and just thinks, yeah. You got it? See if that show's good.
Wild Mike is. This is what I envision.
Wild Mike.
This is what I envision the chupacabra is, bro.
Dude.
That's when I hear chupacabra. That's what I envision.
Let's see down here. See a little more info. Yeah. So pretty much. Oh yeah. So this is another thing. Like if you search it up, you'll see some with wings, and I always found that so weird. Why this goat sucking thing has wings? And I feel like people were just lying at this point, because people claim that they saw like swoop from tree to tree. So then it went from a lizard thing to a dog having wings.
One thing I do think with this, the more sightings, the crazier it gets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just they feed into the illusion a little bit.
Hysteria.
Yeah.
But pretty much, that's like the main thing of the chupacabra, is that, at least I feel like at current point, it's like a fun little myth to talk about. But you know it's not real. You know,
Yeah.
goat sucking dog creature, like really. And especially with like kind of what you said, with how many people started just like making their own stuff about it, I think it kind of got out of hand and it kind of just ruined the whole myth about it. But the main thing I think that kind of proves that this was like a fake thing, no, not fake, I'd say, but misinterpreted, was that they kind of have an explanation for it. So the description of the chupacabra I know, which is the little hairless dog looking thing, is like the main point of it being a real but fake. So they think it's a coyote, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it has, what is this? It has mange, which is like some disease that makes it hairless. So then people see hairless dog running around. And because of its erratic behavior and it being like weakened from the disease, it can't like eat and kill the animal. So instead it just kind of sucks on their blood.
Right.
So that would explain the blood draining. So it all kind of like forms into one ball of like, oh, this is what happened, you know?
Yeah. No one did know it was for real versus not.
And also the name itself, I don't know how true this is, but apparently the chupar part is to suck, which makes sense, and the cabra is goat, so it's to suck goat.
Do you know how long like it took before they found like the sheep's bodies?
The sheep's bodies?
Yeah, or like you know what? Was it goats or sheep?
It was everything.
Okay, yeah. You know, like for the first one that they found, you know how long it was before they found like the bodies of like the animals?
It was that morning.
Okay.
It wouldn't take it away.
Right.
It would apparently attack at night. It attacked at night, killed them, drained them, and then leave. And then in the morning you find like a bloodless corpse.
Yeah.
Or as bloodless as you can get.
So I'm just trying to think about like what could really explain why.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, like nothing's draining the blood, like of a creature that much. Like, you know, like, to the point it's like I don't think there's one creature that can really be all up.
And something I forgot to mention about like the lady where her thing broke into the house is that apparently she described it as having hairy arms and glowing oval eyes.
Okay.
So for me, that feels like she's talking more about like a werewolf.
Yeah, like it's quickly going from like, you know, like a small creature, you know, to like some monster. Like, you know, it feels like every time it's just escalating more and more. So.
And I feel like I still like it as a cryptid. I think it's a nice story to tell, or you know, maybe fear your children a little bit. I'm not scared of it as a kid, I'd say. But honestly, in general, I think it's gotten out of hand. I'd say. I think people kind of just took it to an extreme where it's just, what's the point of believing it and not believing it?
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, that's my cryptid. No, not much lore to it. You know, it's actually 1990s. It's kind of recent.
It's kind of a classic. I mean, everyone knows what the chupacabra is. You know?
You hear it, you're like, oh, right there.
Yeah, you know, you're like, oh, that guy. You know, like we know. I feel like a lot of people know what a chupacabra is, but like not like what it is. Like you said chupacabra, then yeah, the chupacabra, and then what is the chupacabra?
What did you?
Yeah, like they did. I don't know if I could really answer that before without like thinking about it. So Something to think
A
about.
little something. But that was my cryptid. Just a quick little beginner to our Mystery Mondays, little cryptids. I think we should pass it to you.
Oh, do I have a story for you guys? All right. Okay. You got the picture at the beginning. This guy's awesome. Okay. This is the Loveland Frogman. Okay. Just look at that. Look at that beast, dude. It's my favorite picture. I can't zoom in. This is my favorite picture of him. You know. Okay. Now let's get into it. All right. So this is native to Ohio, more specifically in like Loveland, Ohio, which is like a city there. It's kind of a smaller town. You know, I don't think it's not crazy big, but it's not crazy small. And it's found in the county of Clermont. Okay? And a lot of reports, they've seen a large frog-like creature between 3 and 4 feet. It has rough, wrinkly, like frog-like skin. You know, imagine a frog. That's the kind of skin you're seeing. And it stands on two legs, 2 full legs. And it's got webbed hands and feet like a frog. And you know, it's human-like. It's kind of crazy, you know. You know, that's freaky, bro. Imagine in the middle of the night, just see this frog. Okay. And then it's been described. It's got 2 large eyes in its head, and like I didn't really get. Every time they described it, I didn't really get what it was saying. But like instead of hair, they said it had black like grooves in the top of their head. So I don't really like. I'm imagining like just a little like divots, kind of, you know, inside like depressions on the head, kind of. And then, okay, this is the best part about the frog, man. Okay. They've been spotted in multiple occasions. They've used these stick things. Okay, stick things like what I have here that can emit like sparks or open dimensions, green portals. Okay, indicating that they have magical power.
I want to stop you here. I just want to theory craft here. You think they're using the sticks as like a receptor for their magic to send it out, or you think they're just using it for fun? Like, do you think they could just cast the magic with their hands?
So all the stories I've read. So none of them ever said that they used the magic. Well, okay, there's one. I'll get into it. I'll get more into this once we tell more of the stories. But I'm thinking they need the wand. Is what I'm feeling.
Thinking they need the thing.
Yeah, because in most cases they describe as having. We're gonna call it a wand, but a lot of them describe it as sticks, but just magical wand. Mm-hmm. And one of the descriptions it says sparks come out of the wand, and in other descriptions they just call it like magic. Yeah. So it's whatever you want to do, but like, so one of them's like it looks like they can use sparks out of the wand, so then they can use like electricity.
Fireball.
Yeah, something like that. You know, they can emit electricity from it. But really just magical power. I mean, you know, they've been known to open portals, bro. So is there another dimension that the frogman
is it all frogman, you think?
Is this all, are we living in frogman's world?
Or you think it's like a bunch of different creatures?
You know, maybe the cryptids have their own little world, and the frogman helps them get here.
Oh, frogman could be like a transporter.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Okay. Now, the first encounter. Imagine this. You're in Ohio, on the outskirts, near the Miami River, okay? This is on the outskirts of Loveland, Ohio, and you're a businessman, okay? Pretty successful one, I think. You know, you got a business, it's doing well. Robert Honeycutt, okay? I think I said his name right. Yeah. For whatever reason, it's 3:30 a.m. Why you're driving down the Miami River 3:30 a.m.? There's no reports that say he was drunk or anything on something. Personally, I think there's a little more at play than just a businessman driving down a road in 1955. It's 1955. They're probably on something. Okay?
I think he was on something. Right?
Yeah, it's night, and so you know it's rainy. It's a little foggy. It's dark. You know, you're in a 1955 car, obviously, and he finds something as he's driving down the road. You can barely see. He sees in the distance 3 human-like creatures standing there. Okay, and when he gets closer to investigate, it's 3 frog people, bro. 3 frog people, bro, standing outside of this river. Like, what? How do you come up with this? You can't, like, what?
So do you think he was on something, bro?
I mean, like, bro, either frogmen exist or this man was high.
I mean, but if he was, like, think about this, right? If he was high or something, like, he kept pretty stable.
Yeah. Like,
imagine being high, seeing 3 frog people, and still keeping your car straight.
Yeah. Well, he stops, like, he pulls over to the side of the road, because obviously there's 3 unidentifiable creatures in front of you.
You don't want to hit them.
Yeah, you're like, what? Okay, and so obviously startled. He kind of pulls over and watches them. He, as described before, he says they're like 3'4", 3'5" between that. So middle of the range, between 3 foot, 4 foot. And he describes them with thin lips, bulging eyes, and dark grooves instead of hair, like I was kind of describing. And the creatures don't seem to notice them at first, and it looks like they're talking amongst themselves. Okay, in I think he said like an alien language. I just put foreign language, you know. Maybe even, but a lot of people describe it as like an alien language. But how do you know if it's an alien language?
Could just be alien.
Yeah, like better enough. Could just be French. Okay, French is alien language, but we just call it foreign language.
Those guys are aliens.
Yeah. So, you know, he's watching them, and then so one of them has like a push. And on that, they grab a water bottle and chug that entire thing. You know, that's all right. And then another one, he's just a chill guy, and he grabs a whiskey bottle, takes a sip out of that. Okay? And no, while he's chugging that, the 2 frogs behind him are like exchanging some words, and then they like hug. As he describes, they like hug, but then, they licked each other's bellies after that. So they're hugging, and then after the embrace, they lick each other's bellies.
Tell me this isn't a high guy's dream,
this. Okay? And, you know, after seeing this, Robert, he's kind of been there, Robert's been there. He's looking at it, and then he comes to, and he's like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at here? And he starts to leave. When one of the frog pulls out a wand, he describes it as a wand, okay? In his hand, and it opens up a green portal. Okay? All of the frogs walk through the portal and have not seen again. And this supposedly scares Robert so badly that he instead of running away, he passes out. And the next thing he knows, he wakes up, same spot, birds are chirping, sun's out. From what he just saw. So he fainted after seeing this. Like, what?
Do you think this is the frogs doing it?
If you forgot, yes. But since there's a story, like,
yeah,
I genuinely think either bro was so high he finally passed out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he came down.
Yeah.
Or he was so starved. This is such a shock. This is such a shocking thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just watch people open a portal and walk through. I'm leaning more towards the high part, and he just came down and passed out in his car. But you know,
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because from the story, right? He incorporated things we water bottle, whiskey. You know, he did things we had. I feel like what really happened. We saw 3 drunk dudes for some reason they're out there.
Yeah,
3 drunk dudes walking, and he's high off his mind.
Yeah.
So he sees 3 big old frogs, and
yeah. You know, it's blurry. Maybe they're next to a tree,
Mm-hmm.
so they look a little bigger. I meant probably teenagers, you know, late teens, and maybe the ones in the background are kissing or something, and maybe rubbing up on each other, and he sees their hands under the shirt. It's freaky, but I mean, what would explain how do you call them licking their bellies, bro? All right, now the next encounter doesn't happen until 17 years later. It's 1972. Okay. In March, okay? In the same spot in Loveland, near the Miami River. It's, again, 1 a.m. in the a.m.s for whatever reason. Wherever driving on this road late at night, I don't know. This time it's by an officer, Michael Pennison. Okay, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Penis. And he's driving along the river, and he's driving slow because the roads were icy and it was foggy out. And he says he notices a dog sitting next to the curb, right? So, he pulled it. He's like, oh, there's a dog. Let me go check on it. It looks kind of hurt. And so once he gets closer with his car, supposedly the dog darts in front of his car. So he hits the brakes. Okay. And when he looks up, he hits the brakes like, oh crap. He looks up and there's a frog, a 3-foot frog standing in front of him, eyes staring at each other. Okay. And they stare at each other for a while, and then all of a sudden the frog turns the other way, jumps off the guardrail into the Miami River, leaving Officer Michael. So okay. He just saw a frogman jump into the Miami River. Where did it go?
Magic, bro.
Avada Kedavra, bro.
Dude, his portal was in the water.
Yeah, his portal was in the wall. Maybe it's at the bottom of the lake.
Exactly. Maybe that's the gateway.
Maybe that's the gateway. Who knows? Okay. And let me see. So then, wait. The thing I like about this is they're 17 years apart, but they describe the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a 3-4 foot monster, big eyes, grooves on their head. And so the story stays consistent. And so the next morning after Officer Michael kind of tells the story, they have another officer go there. And there's nothing really, there's no frogman there, obviously. There's not a lot there to prove that what he saw was there anymore, right? The frog was in the water, and the frog didn't attack him or anything. There's nothing you can really say. But on the guardrail, there are scratches. They do find scratches.
Mm-hmm.
As if something like hit it, jumped off it, whatever. And so I don't know if they're there before. You know, maybe there were already scratches there, or maybe a car hit into it. You know, or maybe
but with the frog, leave scratches. It's a frog.
Yeah, but I mean, like, anything can leave scratches. I mean, we don't know what they look like. You know. So on this one, it's really up to you. You know, there isn't a portal this time. He started it. Maybe it's to the bottom of the river. Me personally, like, I don't know.
I think it's interesting that they're both the same account.
Yeah,
but so far apart.
Yeah, like it's the same thing, same place. I just feel like the scratch, though, like it's cool and good evidence. I would need to know for sure that wasn't there before. That like a car didn't scratch.
Yeah.
Or that, because it doesn't describe what the scratches look like. They just said the scratches. So did it look like something came down on it?
Yeah.
Or does it just like scraped across? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then after that, only 2 weeks later, so it's been 17 years, and this is the first sighting. Only 2 weeks after that, we get another officer, police officer Mark Matthews, okay? And he described this one as lizard man. So I think mainly they've been called frogmen, but some people describe them as lizard men. You know, they look similar. I think most commonly it's lizard and frogmen. You know, they look more like a frog in most sightings. And so Matthews, Officer Matthews, obviously he was, so I don't think this one happens next to the Miami River. Nothing really said it did from what I read. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they would specify usually Miami River, but it happened in Loveland, so it's still Loveland, Ohio. Okay. And he thought he spotted, so like the officer before, he thought he spotted an injured animal on the side of the road, right? And so he pulls over, obviously, get a check on this guy. And a dog. We all love dogs. Come on. Help this guy out. And so, he goes down. And when he gets close to it, it's a lot larger than a dog should be. 3-4 foot monster. And it was described as an alien-like frog playing dead. Okay.
Ooh, that's playing games, bro.
Yeah. He's just having fun. And so this is inconsistent. I like to add this in because it adds more effect, but it's inconsistent with like what I heard. So supposedly, from one source, the frog flipped Officer Matthews off, and then he started cursing at him in this foreign language, Obviously, you can kind of tell when someone's cursing with like just kind of their mannerisms and like how they're using the word. So, we're assuming it's probably some sort of like vulgar language. Okay. And then Officer Matthews pulls out his gun and loads the entire thing. And when he does this, it pulls out an energy shield and blocks all of the shots. Blocks all of this, like, he unloads an entire mag, and it blocks all of the shots. What? Okay. Okay. And, it's obviously he's surprised. And then I have towards the river. I don't know where it ran. It just says it runs off. I'm assuming there's a river. I want to assume it's near the Miami River, just to give the story more credibility. But
I feel like I feel like they appear mainly by water.
yeah, we're assuming. So we're gonna say Miami River. I know I said in the beginning wasn't, but we're gonna switch that up. Just decided, this isn't fact. So, but it runs towards the river, continuing to curse at Officer Matthews. This thing still isn't off after leaving. Okay, what a guy. Okay, and then after that, Officer Matthews, but then after he says that the creature might have actually been a house pet, and he shot at it to help give evidence for another officer who had something similar happen. So now after this event, we have an officer saying, well, actually, I didn't encounter that. It might have been a lizard, might have been a house pet thing that I shot at just to give more reason to think that another officer's story, who happened 2 weeks before, there happened to be an officer named Michael Pennison who saw something similar. And so I'm thinking, corroborate the story so this other officer didn't seem crazy. Mm-hmm. He tried to do something similar, but obviously no one was buying it. He pulled out an energy shield, like there's no evidence. And why did you unload your entire mag?
Dude, imagine when you're police captain, empty gun and everything. Like, what happened, Sergeant? Well, you see, I shot at a frog. It flipped me off, cursed at me, pulled out a Halo energy shield, and ran to the river.
And so this is one account. In another one, it says the same things, other than it just leaves out like the flipping off and the cursing. It's like he came up to it, unloaded the mag, he kind of like, blocked it, whatever.
And then ran the frog.
But it's a better story, so we're gonna do it that way. Okay, now the last two, these ones are shaky. Okay.
Shaky.
The only two I really like are the first two. Those are the only ones you can kind of get behind. But this one, the one I just told, he kind of confesses that was a lie. That was just a lizard, random lizard. Mm-hmm. Okay, but here's this one. We have a professor in Ohio, Gary Harrison. Okay, so he apparently one day he's down some road. I don't even know if this is in Loveland. They don't specify. So, and this is away from the river. But he says he stumbled onto a private farmhouse with a UFO in their barn. A UFO. Okay, so nobody's seen this giant UFO that you're finding. Okay, cool. Okay.
How do you know it's a private farmhouse?
It's like a private residence,
Yeah, but that means he trespassed. He would have seen a sign or something.
Yeah, so he's technically trespassing. It's private property. And this is sooner. I think this is in like 2017. Could be wrong here. And so he walks in. He's like, "That's a freaking UFO."
Now that's a UFO. If I've ever seen an unidentified object, that's it.
Like, what, the signal? There's a UFO. So, obviously he goes to look at it. And so, once he gets closer, he's kind of in shock and awe a little bit. He sees this UFO, he's like, that's not supposed to be real. So he's a little stunned, he's a little out of it. Until a frog man comes out of his house with an assault rifle.
He ditched the magic.
Who then ordered, this is the first time we have them speaking English, a language this person can understand, which I'm going to guess is English, it's in Ohio. And it tells him to leave, or else, he's going to shoot him if he doesn't leave. Mm-hmm. But this is the end of the story. And outside of it, there's nothing much to compare. This is out there. And no one ever describes them using English. None of the other accounts. And then none of them have them using regular weapons. They usually have a magic wand. Okay. All right. So the last story we got here. Okay. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Here,
we're pulling up. You do.
So the final encounter was by a professor in Ohio, Gary Harrison. And And so he supposedly says he stumbled into a private property, which was a farmhouse, that housed a UFO in its barn that nobody saw except for him. Did they follow up? Probably not. I don't know. And he's kind of saw the UFO. He was unable to move. Like, he's just in shock and awe. And then seconds later, like, behind him, he hears someone talking to him. Looks behind him and see a frog man that described the same as everyone else describes it, holding an assault rifle. His assault rifle, what? Bro, okay, so, you know, he says to Gary, like, you gotta leave, dude. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna shoot you. You're gonna be unalived, right?
You're my trick, dude.
Yeah. And so he leaves, you know, that's the last we hear that. And then, like, outside of this account, like, nobody ever describes him speaking English or having a
human
gun.
weapons.
Yeah, they usually seem pretty peaceful, kind of scared of, like, us. And, yeah, and there's no magical wand, so, you know, this story isn't as believable as the others.
Oh, yeah, yes. The missing magical wand is the...
Yeah, I'm going to say that's the missing piece here. He had the magical wand, I believe. Okay. So, I don't think it's real. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I would love to believe there's a magic frog, and as we kind of talked about earlier, we were like, they're probably like, they have like cryptids get into this world, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no frog, man, opening green portals.
What, they're blue?
And drinking whiskey, dude. Mm-mm. That's just a bunch of teenagers. Okay. And even though the accounts are like, you know, the same or similar, like, there's a lot of things that could explain that, I think, you know. Nothing. And I think it's just kind of like, you know, maybe seeing a large reptile in some cases, something like that, you know, could just, explaining something they don't understand. So.
Yeah, but what's a big reptile in Ohio?
No, who knows?
If there really is a big frog man.
It could be a frog man. Maybe it was just a really big type. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, point there.
Alright, on to the last and final one. This is the one we did together.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You want to take it away? You want to take
Mm-hmm. I got it. So, for the dual one, this is the one that we both collaborated on, and we both, like, had an idea of what we wanted to do. We did the one and only, the Mothman.
The Mothman.
The harbinger of doom, as some will say. But, well, let's get into him. So, the Mothman, there's a bunch of different theories about him, about, like, his personal origin, but the one that I picked for mine was November 1966. Yeah. And so there's a couple things. Some people think he emerged from the pits of hell, and some people think he came down from space. So really, it's really up to your depiction here. There could be many different ways that you think about it. Personally, if he was real, he's probably I'd say he's more probably like a hell being, in my opinion. I feel like it'd be weird for a Mothman to come from space.
Personally, I think he's from Chernobyl.
Oh.
Like a nuclear experiment. You know, a guy and a moth, like it's like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But they like merged.
Mm.
And he became a Mothman.
Mm.
Just mutated.
Let's see here. Okay.
Let's see, it's kind of, where is it?
There's a couple of things about him.
He's been described as kind of like a dark figure. He's got like big red eyes, you know, pretty creepy stuff. He's got a large body. It's from 6 to 7 feet. He's described as like very shiny, almost like wet looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, large wings with like a hairy moth body. He's got a loud scream, like you're gonna burst your eardrums, kind of loud. And then they're described to have kind of like a presence to him, like kind of a scary presence. You know, when you like can feel like you're being watched, maybe, or like something that might happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the feeling it brings. And it's believed that like because of this, like when they do spot Mothman, that means something bad's gonna happen. Like he's been spotted for Chernobyl and this bridge incident we'll get into. And yeah, you know, it's that presence. And then it's also believed that he can like kind of mess with the psyche a little bit because a lot of people after this have been seeing like they have extreme mental effects like right after they have PTSD and nightmares like months after the incident. So it's believed you can kind of mess with the mind a little bit and like make his appearance maybe seem more sinister, like important than it really is, you know, and like just give people like lasting mental problems from his own just aura, I guess.
Yeah, he has a wicked aura, bro.
He's a wicked aura, bro.
He's like a Mega Ball.
He's
a very strong aura.
You got aura, you know, maybe it's not the best kind of aura, but you got it.
Well, one of the things I think is very funny, just from your menacing description, it is also said that he sucks at running. He's a clumsy runner. He's a little silly guy.
Okay, if you're a sprinter, you might have a chance.
You would say that, but he's a really good glider. Apparently, some people were getting chased. They're going 100 miles, and he was catching up by flying.
Holy crap!
So he's a really good flyer.
Right.
He just really sucks at running. So if you can get him in a 5 to 7 foot tall building where you cannot fly, and it's a straight corridor, and you cannot run him, you got a chance there. Other than that, then no.
Well, I think what I read was he doesn't seem to harm people. Like he's kind of just seemed lurking, like he thinks he's Batman or something.
He's a chill guy, bro.
Yeah, bro really just thinks he's a vigilante, bro. Like, they're really just watching. He's just observing. So, you know, that's why I don't really get like the. I feel like if he's like from like hell or whatever, I feel like there would be more like, oh, he attacked me, he scratched me because he's a demon, you know. But he's kind of lurks. He's kind of chilling. You know, he likes to see the chaos.
Why would a demon be chill, bro?
Yeah, like, you know, white boy got a little sauce. White boy got a little motion. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Demon got a little motion. Mothman got a little.
Dude, demon could have motion, bro.
Yeah, maybe I got him wrong, dude. Maybe I got him wrong. Yeah, but.
Okay, something else I think is really funny is that when like people stated to like see the Mothman or whatever, instead of being scared or like, you know, like, oh, demon, they're like, let's go kill this guy. they did hate mobs again.
Bro, they love for the game against the Mothman. They can't even see him. They don't even know where he is.
Dude, 6'7" mythical creature, yeah, let's go shoot that guy. He's gonna die tonight.
They're just out mobbing for fun. Like, we don't know where he is, what he does. We just know he's a lurker, and we don't like that. And we're gonna get our pitchforks out, and we're gonna burn it. Okay?
Exactly, bro.
And they didn't burn it.
Man, find him.
They didn't find him. Walk for the game, just there. But yeah, so I think the main thing about him is he just kind of spotted before him like pretty significant events. Like, what's the bridge?
Silver.
Something bridge.
It's the silver. Well, I'm blind. I'm not blind. Hold on. Are we both blind?
We might be more. Let's see.
Oh, Silver Bridge. Oh, it's legit just called the Silver Bridge.
Yeah, right. So yeah, the Silver Bridge. You know, is it in California?
No. He is Mothman's origins. Did I not write it?
We're new to this. So the Silver Bridge incident, and I think it was like something like 42 people died.
He lives in a certain place.
Yeah, but he was spotted before that, and 46 people died.
West Virginia.
West Virginia, okay. Yeah, in 1967. And this bridge collapsed and killed, that's horrible, 46 people. And he was also seen before Chernobyl incident, which I don't think I have to explain. So, you know, he's lurking. He's trying to tell us when chaos is going to happen, but like, he kind of wants to see it, and he likes it.
I'm saying, but like, he's not stopping it though.
Yeah, like he's just watching. He's a watcher.
Exactly.
Now that brings us to the end here. Is it fake?
Is it? Is it fake?
Yes. I'm very skeptical. I don't think any of this is real. You know, I hate to be that guy.
Shattered my dreams.
Yeah, you know. There's got to be a skeptical here, right? And I think they're interesting here. You know, they're fun stories to explain things, but I think they're just stories. You know, a lot of it happens when there's like panic, and there's kind of some unknown things around. You know, and I feel like even if the stories aren't in panic, like maybe that officer just driving down Miami Road, like there's not enough of an explanation. Like, why is the officer there? What is he doing? Why is it 3 in the morning? Like, you're not on patrol at 3 in the morning around a hot, like a road by a river.
I don't know. Far better.
Like, you're not gonna find anything probably. You know, like that's just like a one-off. Like, why are you there? Like,
Yeah.
why? I don't know. So you know, I feel like there's more to describe that. Like, I bet, you know, or I guess that wasn't even a police officer. That was a businessman. So Bro was probably on something, is what I'm guessing.
Something crap.
Yeah, like he's got to be on. He's high, and you know, and so like I just think and then with the Mothman, and like even the Chupacabra, I think it's just a panic. Like they don't know how to explain this crazy thing that's going on, and now they're trying to find something to blame it on or to give reason, and it's the only way they can think of it is just some mythical monster, you know, instead of like really putting reason to it quickly. So you're not gonna get that like. You know, that scare, they're scared, and they want to find a reason to explain it, you know? And I do find it interesting, though, that a lot of these like, things are described in similar locations, or like, because Chernobyl and the Silver Bridge, those are 2 separate things in different parts of the world that are explaining, like, seeing the same thing during a disaster, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, and then like 17 years later, the Frogman, but at the same time, I think the Frogman story is definitely a legend somewhere. It's just a small town, like, I bet. It's a small town, like at the time, you know, so they probably know about the Lowland Frogman. So this guy's kind of seeing it. So, you know, nothing crazy. And I think a lot of the time, like a frogman, they could mistake it just for a creature they don't know what it is. Like, you know, maybe a lizard, large lizard.
Somehow. A 4-foot lizard that stands on its hind legs with a magic wand. Yeah, sounds like the Frogman.
I'm leaning more towards like teenagers, and he's just like a little high, and they're doing something promiscuous.
Maybe they're like dressed up to hide themselves.
Yeah, you never know. So that's my 2 cents. That's how I feel about it. Give away to the. He's a little less skeptical on these things.
These are all real. They all exist.
Put your tinfoil hat on. It's
time to get fucking ready. No, but like the chupacabra, I believe it's just like a sick coyote. Honestly,
yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
I mean, that one's pretty provable. The frogman.
The one thing is, I don't get like, you don't just get dried up. So I want the explanation on how like, there's no blood left in their bodies. Maybe.
And it's hot.
Yeah. Dried up.
They get drained.
Yeah.
Did they probably leak all night?
Yeah.
That makes it. There's multiple of them. They can make a pack of stick wolves.
Yeah. Something like that.
The frogman, I think it's quite literally just drugs.
Yeah,
I think that Ohio kind of just really likes drugs.
Well, I think the first part with the businessman, 1955, I think that one is definitely something like drug. I think he's driving down the road on cocaine. He just happens to see that. And then I think the next one, I think he just sees a big animal, like on the side of the road, and it just darts in front of him. And like, you know, not being able to explain it and only getting like a quick glimpse. And I think he just is like, the frogman, this is where it happened 17 years ago.
Holy shit, fucking frogman.
And then the next story, 2 weeks later, it's literally the guy that says, I was just trying to corroborate a story, basically. You know,
I was just joking.
Yeah, so like obviously there's some shenanigans going on there. And then the next guy after that, just some professor talking about some having a soul. Right?
I think that guy was just bullshit. You know,
yeah, that wasn't real. He was just trying to.
I think he's trying to
get his 2 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
You know, nothing crazy. So that's how I feel.
And then I feel like for the Mothman, I mean, there is some explanation for him. People think it's like cranes, sandhill cranes, which like migrate towards that area. Which I mean, I feel like it could make some sense. The Chernobyl thing, that's not so much. But maybe for that specific place in West Virginia.
Yeah.
In West Virginia, I think that's like some possibility with it. And then also some people think it's just a really big owl, which I kind of agree with more. Like it could just be a really big owl, especially for like the eyes, because they say the Mothman, you know, has some pretty big peepers. I feel like an owl would match that description. But you know, I think it is the Mothman's a cool way for people to like express themselves and like or like try to
just find something to like explain it.
Yeah. You know, nobody wants to admit it's reality. You know, like 46 people die on a bridge collapse. People don't want to say, oh, you know, that's sad. People will say, oh, it was the harbinger of doom that caused this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, we're always trying to look for some explanation that's out there. Not like, just because we don't want to really accept the real kind of like truth, I feel like. So, who knows?
And also, like, if he's like the harbinger of doom, a lot of other bad stuff has happened.
Yeah, like.
But he hasn't been seen.
We only have really like 2 good accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're not really even good accounts. And then, like, people are saying they're getting chased. Like, okay, where you're in a city probably, where the 5 other people that were also walking the city that night that didn't get chased. So.
And bro, we had a whole like semi-war, not a single sighting of Mothman.
Yeah.
Does he not care for politics?
Yeah. So, believe what you want. I'm saying we gotta put a tinfoil hat on to really be like, this is real. Come on.
No, but it's cool. It's cool to think about it.
No, I really like the stories. It's kind of cool to believe. Kind of creepy. There's some creepier ones that we might get into later.
I beat just the fucking fucking Leland Frogman.
Dude, the Frogman's tough.
Flips off officer and then runs away.
That third story was so funny. Like, I was reading it and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
Well, it's not true.
The whole article seems so professional, and then I get to this part, and he's like, the Frogman flipped him off. And I was like, change of tone is crazy.
Harvard did their research.
Yeah, I was like, hey, okay. So, but yeah, I think, we kind of got into cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
It's something me personally, I don't know a ton about. I think John knows a lot more than
I know decent amount.
I'm not, like, I like that kind of thing. I think I'm more into, like, the real, less than, like, creatures, but, like, more.
What you know about the Loch Ness Monster?
I'm more of, like, paranormal, like, kind of ghosts interacting with, like, some sort of, like, union or other, like, world beyond. I don't believe it. I'm a really weird skeptic, because I don't believe in ghosts, but I love hearing stories about ghosts.
Yeah.
I love like, people like, proving it true. But then again, I'm like, that's probably not real.
I mean, I'd be happy if they proved it true, but like,
Yeah.
I'm sick, bro.
Yeah, like, so that kind of thing I think is really cool. It's just I think I'm always pretty skeptical about it. There's like a slight chance in my brain, I'm like, maybe it is. But who knows?
Especially modern day, where it's
Yeah.
like it's super, like, you could have just edited that.
Yeah. There's like, so, maybe once you guys get this channel to 1 million subs, right? Once we get 1 million subs, we'll do a haunted investigation. We'll do a haunted location.
We'll buy a whole crew, we'll go out.
We'll do a haunted investigation. We'll make it 100,000 subs, okay? When we get big enough, okay? We'll go to a haunted location, we'll bring, we'll bring like the ghost hunting things.
What is it called? I don't know. It's
like
something.
The EMF reader, and then they have like the box. You like
voice
stick
box.
You stick it up, and then like it detects electromagnetic waves getting closer. So like the closer something is, the more it beeps. That seems so cool. And then we'll do the Estes method. Do you know what Estes method is?
I don't know.
It's when so you basically put on headphones, and so something is cycling through a radio, and you blindfold yourself, so you're fully immersed. It's kind of like immersion therapy a little bit. But so the idea is, once you're in there, like, you're just listening to it cycling through radios at a certain frequency. So like every set, like 0 point, it's just cycling really fast, so that's all you hear.
Yeah.
So the idea is that when you actually make out clear words, it's like the ghost communicating, or like the entity, like communicating through the radio, because it's using electromagnetic waves to you. So it's using you as its like vessel to say that.
So you're telling me a ghost is just Bluetooth?
Yeah, pretty much. So the idea of ghosts is they use electromagnetic frequencies to like communicate and do that. So a lot of the like an EMF reader is detecting that, and then so like, because you're not just gonna find that anywhere. That's why like it's believed. And so a lot of the equipment's based off that. So it uses that, and then just like you being fully immersed. Because I think a lot of people describe it as like, oh, I thought I was only in there for 3 minutes. It's been like an hour and a half.
It's like drugs.
Yeah, kind of. So it's kind of a cool experience, but so we're gonna do that. Yeah. Next
1 million subs.
1 million. Get us to 1 million subs, and we'll do an investigation somewhere.
I'll leave him in the building by himself
With a homeless man who makes it out first.
like a Mr. Beast.
$100 or a beer.
There is the unkillable demon in there. Can he survive it?
A job that pays you $15 an hour or a beer. Homeless man, your choice.
I think I choose the bear.
Yes. We went on a little tangent there. But, yeah.
Well, that's it for our Mystery Monday.
Mystery Monday,
First
first
one.
First one. Well, thanks for entering the garage. Hope you had a spooky time.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
Yeah, see ya.
I get this sucker.